So I'm starting the recording. So this is our first class of the HANA administration part here, right? So HANA, as we know, HANA is a in-memory column-oriented columnar database, right? HANA database is a in-memory column-oriented columnar database here. So when compared to the other database, it will store the data in memory level. It will store the data in memory level, right? So other databases, it will store the data in rows and columns, right? So suppose like if you take the table, one table contains the rows. One table contains the rows. Then same table contains the columns, right? Rows and the column. This is the table. Here employee name, employee number, employee name. So names, columns, everything will be there. Yeah. But this is the standard table. Suppose we have the other databases like SQL Server, Oracle, so DB2 that will store the data in the form of in memory. So in the form of table, rows and columns wise, it will store the data. When it comes to the HANA database, it has only columns. It has only columns. Only columnar way it will store the data, which means we don't have any row structure concept. So that is the reason HANA is one of the fastest, the first database. It will store the data in a memory level, and columnar database, column oriented and columnar database, columnar way it will store the database. So on fly we can make the business decisions. On fly we can make the business decisions here. Sir, other databases it will store the data in the disk layer, and this HANA database is storing the data in memory level, which means we have the 200 GB data, then 200 GB in memory. Memory is required, right? RAM memory means yes. Other databases 4 GB, 8 GB memory is required, but here all the data storing into the memory level. So definitely it's required the more memory. Definitely it's required the main memory. It is required here to store the data here. And also here the compressed format data will be stored into the compressed format here. So compression means when the data is coming, same size is coming means same size will not be saved. It will be compressed. In the compressed way, it will be. So compressed means when the file, if you zip it out, how the size will be reduced. Here also the size will be reduced for this data here. So the sizing approach, it depends upon the implementation scenario, how it will use it here, right? So it is the HANA, high availability, high analytics, high performance analytical appliance. The abbreviation of the HANA is so high performance analytical appliance, high performance analytical appliance here. Appliance, high performance analytical appliance here. That is the abbreviation of HANA. Means the performance is very high. On fly, we can make the business decisions about the data which is stored in the any number of data. In the fraction of milliseconds, we can get the results from the HANA database. That's why it's a SAP product. It's a SAP product here. The one more advantage of this HANA database, it will not only store the data of transactions. So in the same database, the OLTP transactional processing and the OLAP analytical processing, we can we can use the advanced analytical tools to analyze the data here. In the same database, transactions and analytical. So other databases will not have this option. Only either transactional or either analytical. But this database have the multiple options here. This database has the multiple options here. High performance, analytical appliance, and transactional processing here on the database. Right? This is the HANA in-memory database here. So, sir, that's okay, introduction side. So we want to know, so the history of the HANA. Then what were the versions we have in the HANA? So and everything here. HANA, when they have first released in the HANA database, they have released the HANA 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 versions here. HANA 1.0 version, they have released it here. 1.0 version, they have released into the market here. When they have first released 1.1.0 HANA in 2010, I think. Initial release was happened in the 2010. 2010. So that time, HANA, the first version they have released the HANA 1.0, then SPS 0. Then after that, after that, then SPS 01, then SPS 02, SPS 03, SPS 04, SPS 05. So then then SPS 12 is the last edition in the 1.0. 1.0, it's a SPS 12 is the last availability version. But currently, we don't have any support for the HANA 1.0 SPS 12. So why? Because SAP later they have introduced the they have introduced the in the later they have introduced the HANA 2.0. This is the HANA 1.0. Same Robo 2.0, Robo 1.0, Robo 2.0 versions here, right? So yes. So but not 1.0. 2.0 will support S4 HANA. Okay. So here, then later, they have not released the HANA 13, some SPS 13, something like that. They have, sorry, they have released the, so SPS 2.0, they have released it here. There, 01, SPS 01. SPS 01, SPS 02, SPS 01, SPS 02, then SPS 03, SPS 04, SPS 05, SPS 06, SPS 07 is the latest version which was released on the April 2023. Latest version in the April 2023, they have released it. Means SAP the support pack, the releases strategy. The strategy of the HANA database is a once a year. Once a year, new SPS will be released once a year. Once a year means so they have released in 2022, 2021, like that we can calculate it. So there is a HANA SPS 08 HANA 2.0 SPS 08 is ready to release, but it's not released still. It's not released still here. It's ready to release. Actually, should be released in the April month itself. So we have August. Still, August is there. So. As per the August, September. So August or September 2024, new version is going to release. That is called the SPS 08. As per the latest information from SAP. So August or September, new 2024 SPS 08 version. So it will be released here. Sir, that is fine. Here 1.0, that is fine. 2.0 is fine. Sir, why there is a difference here? Why? There is a difference between the 1.0 to 2.0 difference here. So what has been changed in the 1.0 to 2.0? So what is the concept of 1.0, 2.0? What are the new capabilities SAP introduced in HANA 2.0 version? Right? So in HANA 1.0, 1.1 means single container. HANA 1.0 is the single container here. Single container means if you install the one database, suppose this is the one host. If you install this is the operating system. On top of the operating system, if you install the HANA database, then only one HANA database will be installed, right? Yes. If you install the one database, only one will be installed. Then what is the logic here? That is the main thing, right? Everybody agree this one. Why? Because if you install the one database, only one SID will be installed. But that is the concept here. But in the HANA 2.0, they have separated that concept. They have separated concept here. When you install the HANA 2.0 on top of the operating system here, you will get the two default databases. You will get it out here. Two default databases. You will get it out here. So which means one is the system DB. Second one is the tenant DB, system DB and tenant DB concept SAP introduced in the HANA 2.0. In the HANA 2.0, SAP released the HANA 2.0, HANA 2.0, 2.0. So there is a system DB, tenant DB concept here. Here only single container. This is the multi-container. This is the multi-container concept SAP introduced here. Multi-container concept SAP introduced here. Right? Multi-container concept SAP introduced it here. Okay.
Hello. So, but for the system database and tenant database, there is a different SID or the same SID they
Same
having.
as same SAD, same SAD. So there is
Okay.
no confusion. I will explain it. There is a difference between the system DB, tenant DB also. There is a difference. So I will let me come to that point as well. Okay. So HANA 1.0, 2.0. 1.0, 1 means single. 2.0, so 2 means two. By default, you will get the two databases. It is a multi-container. Also, after that, if you want to install one more tenant database, you can install the n number of tenant databases. We can install it on top of the system DB. Means system DB is only one. N number of databases we can create it here. Then how many we can create it? Infinity? No. So except one system DB, except one tenant DB, remaining 19 tenant databases we can install it. 19 tenant databases in one host. 19 tenant databases we can create it, except default one. Default one here one and here one. So which means total. So total 20 tenant databases, one system DB, it will become as part of the. So we can install it, which means if you want to install the one more database SID, you no need to install it. Just you can just execute the command. So there will be one more SID will be installed. One more SID we can install. One more tenant database we can create it on top of the existing tenant, existing system database here. Means n number of tenants we can create it in the HANA 2.0. But here there is no tenant DB concept. There is no multi-tenant concept. That's why HANA 1.0 is the single container. Why? Because only single database, single container. This is the multi-container. This is the multi-container concept, which means multiple databases will be installed on top of the one host. We can install it. That's why it's a multi-container. So, but by default, when you install the first time, you will get only one system DB, one tenant DB. You will get one system DB, one tenant DB only. You will get here. So, what is the difference here, sir? Difference between the system DB, tenant DB here. So, system DB, it will manage the all the tenants. System DB will manage the all the tenants. Suppose example, best example, this is the independent house concept. HANA 1.0 is the independent house concept, which means in the 150 square hertz, if you build the one house, one independent house, only one family can stay, one family members only stay, right? So only one family means family members, right? One family will stay, only that family will use the entire 150 square hertz entire water, entire resources, capacity, everything will be used by the only one family. Okay, perfect. What about this one? This is the apartment concept, which means in the same 150 square yards, if you build the apartment, ground floor owners, first floor tenants, that is your wish. How many floors you want to, you have to construct it, you can construct it. But apartment means by default G plus 1, right? By default, you will give the G plus 1. Later, you can number of floors, you can increase it based upon the your bandwidth, based upon the approval one. So same as like here also, number of floors, you can increase it up to 19 floors, you can connect it here. Same as the 19 tenant databases, you can connect it here. It's a kind of apartment concept here, which means in one apartment, same, all the people will use the same water, same electricity, all the people will use the same resources. So there is advantages as well. Why? Because multiple families can stay here, right? Multiple families, they can stay in the here. Only one family, they are using all the capacity. Here only all the families are using this one capacity, but multiple families are staying. There is a pros and cons also there here. So, but the customers who don't have the one more operating system license, instead of installing the separate SAD, just so you can use the simple command to create the container, one tenant database, then they can install the one more database SAD, they can give it for their applications, right? Applications require the database. Then one more database they can, one more tenant database they can create it. No need to install it. No need to download the software. No need to install one more. So same, we can just create. We can use the command. We can create the tenant database. We can create it. So that is the one of the good advantage in the HANA 2.0. The 2.0 is the multi-container concept. Here, the multiple databases we can install on top of the ground floor, right? System DB is only one, but tenants are more here. So, sir, you mentioned, right? One family is staying here. What are those family members? If I ask me, my father, mother, child, kids, wife, I will tell all those persons are in one family, right? So, but here also, when you install the HANA database, there the some family members will come. What are those family members here, right? So same as like we have here also we have the family members like, so here index server, there are 7 family members: index server, name server, compile server, then the processor, then so web dispatcher, then access engine, then diamond. These are the 7 family members will come as part of the HANA DB installation, right? When you install the database, installation means construction of a new house. Database installation means construction of the new database house here, right? So then construction of a new database house. So, sir, when you build the house, one family members can stay, right? Here also database means what are those family members here? Here are the 7 family members: index server, name server, compile server, preprocessor, web dispatcher, access engine, and daemon. These are the 7 family members will stay in this database here, right? 7 family members will stay in this database here. So what about the HANA multi-containers are? Multi-container are also same, but we have the 2 databases, right? So in each database, what will be the, which process will stay here? So each tenant database here, you have the one index server, access engine, one index server, access engine, index server, access engine. So remaining 5 process will be the name server, compile server, then preprocessor, then so web dispatcher, then the daemon. So NPC WD will be stay in the system DB. Remaining 2 will be in the each tenant database. It will be stay, right? Each tenant database we have the access engine and the index server. Tenant we have the 2 process. Then here, right? Which means each tenant we have the 2 process system DB here. Sir, what is the use of the system DB here? So what is the use of the system DB and tenant database? So actual data resides in the HANA databases. HANA database means data is storing in HANA database in the form of tables, right? In the form of table level HANA database, HANA is getting stored. So here index server. Index server is the main process father of the database here. Actual data resides index server only. HANA index server, the data is getting stored index server only here. So wherever index server is there, all applications, why? Because data is storing in the index server, then all SAP applications or any applications will connect to the index server only. Index server only, it will connect it here. Index server only, it will connect it here, right? So in the tenant database, we have the index server, it will connect to the tenant. Index server, it will connect to the database, means each SAP application, it will connect to their individual tenant databases. So applications will not connect to the system database. System DB does not have any data, does not store any data. It's a idle. So just only managing the tenant purpose, monitoring the tenants, managing the tenant, controlling the tenants will be done by system DB, which means all the data resides not here. All the data resides into the index server. Where index server is available? Tenant. So tenant database are the main databases for in the 2.0. Why? Because tenant only it will store the data. Tenant only it will store the data. So that's why HANA database, HANA, it will be store the data here. That is the difference between 1.0, 2.0 is single container, multi-container. So there the 7 process will come. Here the multiple databases we can install each. Each tenant has the one index server, one access engine. So that index server is the main process here, where the all the data resides inside of the index server. So here all the data resides here in this place itself only. In this place, all the data resides here. So, so that is the difference between the HANA 1.0, 2.0 here. But HANA 1.0, there is no support now from SAP, only 2.0. 2.0, we have the support version here, right? HANA can be only installed on the Linux machines. HANA can be installed only on the Linux machines here. HANA can be installed only on the Linux machines. We have to install it, right? Maybe Windows, RAX, so it's not capable only. SUSE Linux. Linux means SUSE or Red Hat Linux. SUSE or Red Hat Linux. Only these two operating systems we can install the HANA databases, which means both are the Linux flavors only. But so Red Hat Linux is different, SUSE Linux is different. So it will be installed here. Or IBM Power Missions. But IBM Power Missions are very costly, so no one use that one. But only only Red Hat Linux or SUSE Linux, people will do the installation on these two operating systems only, right? So, okay, differences are fine, but when you do the actual installation, we will come to know how many process will come, how many will stay in the system DB, 10 just only theoretical, that is fine. Now, okay, that when you do the installation, you will get more, that is fine, right? But because once the installation is started, then only you will come to know database process, databases, how to, all those things you will come to know, right? So that when we will do it here. Then what left? What next here? So to install the HANA database, why? Because HANA database is a combination of the software and hardware requirements. HANA is a combination of the software and hardware requirements here. Can you tell me something about the HANA means? You can tell like all these advantages. It's a multi-container database 2.0. Multiple tenant database we can create. So it's a apartment concept. So multiple tenants, multiple process, core family members will stay, right? The so you can tell more like it's in memory, column oriented, columnar database. It has only columns. This is the fastest database to store the data in memory level. Why? Because to get the speed result test, full speed results, we have to install HANA database in. So we have to install the HANA database in memory level. It will be installing here. You no need to do, just do the installation. It will automatically, it will store the all the data in memory level. That's it. Okay. Other databases will store the data in the disk level, but this database will store the data in memory level. It will storing the data in memory level. It is storing the data. That's why HANA is the one of the in memory fastest database, right? So coming to the here, so how to install it? Sir, you said like HANA is a in memory, sorry, HANA is a combination of the hardware and software requirement, right? So then to install the HANA database, what we required to install the HANA database. To install the HANA database, first of all, we need to know what are the hardware requirements. HANA hardware requirements, right? HANA hardware requirements and software requirements. So, sir, hardware requirement, why we know? Why? Because we are the software. We should know about the softwares, not the hardwares, which means, but you should know about the what are the underlying infrastructure in the HANA, what are the underlying CPUs, RAM, how much RAM we required, how much spaces we required, file systems, and all those things we should know. As a consultant level, admin level, you should know all those things. Even though you won't work on the hardware procurement and everything, but you should know about some information about the HANA hardware requirement. So here, a hardware team separate, like they will procure the hardware from the hardware vendors. HANA we can install on only certified hardware vendors only. HANA can be installed only on the certified hardware vendors. Certified means how can I know, sir? Who are the certified vendors and all those things? How can I know means? So it's we can if you type like HANA, the certified hardware list here. So you will get the on site here. See here, certified and supported HANA hardware list here. You will come to know here, right? So here we can check the HANA hardware vendors here who will support it. EMC, Google Cloud, Huawei, Cisco, Data Center, Fujitsu, Dell, IBM, Atos, Hitachi, Lenovo, NetApps. So these all are the certified hardware vendors, which means any one of the infrastructure hardware vendor, you can take it out, you can install the HANA database on this hardware. You means you are if the team will ask you what are the certified hardware vendors means, we can come to this page. Just if you type it here, you will see the hardware vendors here. HANA hardware vendors here, right? Certified hardware vendors. SAP recommended to install the HANA database only on the certified hardware vendors only. Okay, fine. We can choose the any hardware vendor, that is fine. Then we have to install the OS operating system, right? We means your OS team will do the installation of the operating system. Sir, which type of operating system? Either SUSE or Red Hat Linux we required. Red Hat Linux we required. Okay, that is fine. SUSE or Red Hat Linux. Then what next? What next here? So OS is ready, but how much RAM size? RAM size also we required, right? How much RAM size, how much memory we required for HANA? Why? Because HANA purely memory mentality, which means HANA will be installed only on the memory in memory only. So how much RAM is required? How much RAM is required here? So HANA, so RAM size calculation, we can do it in the two ways here. One is the quick sizer tool. We can use the quick sizer tool for HANA calculation of the RAM size. This is the quick sizer tool for SAP web-based tool. Web-based tool, quick sizer tool. Using this quick sizer tool, we can perform the hardware, how much hardware required and everything. We can perform it here. Okay. SAP quick sizer tool, we can use it to calculate the how much RAM we required. So otherwise, we can use the DB scripts. We can use the DB scripts. Each database, there is a DB script. We can use it to get the scripts. So otherwise, there is a ABAP reports. ABAP reports, we can use it to get the sizing here. To get the sizing, we can use the ABAP reports here, right? So three ways. One is the, if it's the fresh installation, if it is the fresh installation, we can do using pick sizer tool. Pick sizer tool, we can use it, right? Newly you are building the HANA system, pick sizer tool. If it is the not the quick installation, you are doing the migrations. You are doing the migration, which means you are doing the migration means we can use the DB scripts or ABAP report, which means in the HANA implementation method, there are the two scenarios here. One is the greenfield. One is the greenfield installation. Second one is the brownfield installation. Greenfield and brownfield implementation. Greenfield and brownfield installation. Right? In the greenfield fresh installation, which means suppose new customer, you want to freshly install the HANA database, you can use the greenfield installation. Brownfield means we have existing databases are there. Suppose customer already in the either SQL Server or Oracle or DB2 or some other databases he wants to convert to the or he want to migrate to the HANA database. That time, how much RAM is required? Well, because data already in the this data your company data already in the your business data already in the source databases, but you want to migrate to the HANA. If you install the new, data will not come. Then how to do that one here? Is a fresh installation using the Quick tool. We can find out the how much RAM is required, right? So if it is the greenfield, then greenfield means new installations only. One other name, fresh installation or greenfield installation, right? Brownfield means so migrations. Migration side, you can use the so migrations. You can use the DB scripts to calculate the source DB size. Based upon that, you can calculate the this one ABAP report slash SDF slash HDB HDB underscore sizing, HDB underscore sizing, ABAP reports, you can use it here. Scripts, you can use it. Or ABAP report, you can use it to get the, in SA38, if you execute this one, you will get to know how much RAM is required for the for target HANA databases. You will get it out here, this report, right? So this is this way, this many ways we can calculate the, so HANA the RAM size. RAM size is the very normally every organization there is a architects. Architects will do the this scaling. Architects will do the scaling of your hardware and everything. Why? Because perfectly we have to do that one. Otherwise, sometimes what will happen? Sometimes what will happen? This will create a so if you do the if you incompletely if you do the hardware sizing after 6 months after 1 year again you may face the issues. RAM size very low, memory lies, CPU issues, memory issues, you will face it. So perfectly we have to do the sizing of the hardware and the hardware requirements, right? So three ways. This is the to find out the RAM size. This is the very important thing here, right? Either web-based tool or DB scripts or ABAP reports you can use to get the RAM size here. Okay, that is the RAM size calculation here. Okay, so that is the sizing of the RAM. Sir, fixed size. Okay, this is fine. Fixed sizer tool means how to find out. This is a web-based tool. If you type it like SAP quick sizer tool, something like that in the browser, so you will get the sizing here, benchmark sizing here. Sizing means to calculate the your hardware requirements such as memory, CPU, disk space, I/O capacity, network bandwidth here. So here, so you can use the quick sizer tool. Just click on the HANA based quick sizer tool. You will get the how much just to calculate it here based upon the users, based upon this project. So you can create it here based upon the users and the project. You can create the so based upon the project and users We can create the HANA implementation. Click on the create the project here via quick sizer tool, right? HANA implementation project here. So here you can just provide the what is the here new business solutions. Okay. Then is it on premises public cloud? Then then you can just provide the all the details here. What is the platform here? Platform details here. So the platform details is a development system. What is the database? So your platform HANA database. What is the details of the database? What is the current size? If you know, if you don't know, live, take light. Otherwise, here if you are selecting for the S4 HANA, you can choose it for. If you are selecting for the different, if you are selecting for different, if you are selecting for any only HANA platform, then you can calculate for the only HANA we can calculate only HANA. Then only HANA databases. So then what is the working days for a year? How many days retention period is required? So all the details, if you fill it out, then if you calculate it, what is the source DB or only source DB? How many days compression factor? So this all the details we have to fill it out. All the details we have to fill it out. Then finally, if you calculate the results, then if you calculate the return results here, then you will come to know how much RAM, how much data folder, log folder, all the information you will get from SAP, right? All the information you will get from SAP here, right? You need to fill the all the details here. You need to fill the all the details here, right? So this is what we have to do it as part of the kick sizer tool. This is a web-based tool. We need to create the project, select the what product. Is it S4 HANA or just only HANA database? What you are going to do, CRM, SRM, gateway, whatever you want only HANA. Then select the HANA, right? So then what is the working days? Then business startup time, then license system lifetime in months. How many months in the lifetime? So then retention specify, you can just default, you will get it out. What is the business growth and all the average work day, average working day, 9 to 6 is the working hours, right? Peak load, this is the peak load here. So then we can select it, we can fill the details here, source DB, standalone, number of concurrent users, how many users, concurrent users will connect it, right? What is the source database footprint, like 500 GB footprint, source DB estimation. Then what is the compression factor 7? So then if you fill it all the details, you can fill it out. Then just click on the calculate the results here. Calculate the results here. You will come to know, you will come to know how much data you required, how many GB memory is required, what is the memory size total, DB memory size total, DB disk size total, DB disk total, right? So hours throughput. So all the information you will get the results from SAP. This is for the calculation of the fixed size. So Anna, so all those things here, all those things with so all those things here. Okay, that is the fixed size details here. Okay, so this is for the finding out the how much RAM required for the your HANA. Without doing these details, if you start keep on installing for you and your graduate friend also, there is no differences, right? We should know, sir, the source data. So if you know the where to calculate, if you know the web using the quick sizer tool, we can calculate it. That is perfect. Why? Because normally architects will do the this type of sizing. But if you got the chance to do it, we can also do that one using the quick sizer tool. Just to provide the inputs, click on the OK, then it will give you the information. With the migration approaches, we can get it out using the reports. If it's a fresh installation, number of users and concurrent time and everything, we can find out all the information here, right? So this is the way we can find out the RAM. OS, SUSE or Red Hat Linux. So RAM, fine. Data, folder, log folder size. So file systems that I will explain tomorrow. Why? Because today, if I explain everything, you guys will get confused. Okay, we'll go slowly.